My name is Tristan. Yes, I'm from Jamaica. And today, I have this mind lecture here to do for me. And I'm going to be speaking about happiness. Now, I hope at the end of my lecture, you guys can really check yourselves and ask myself, am I really happy? And am I really living a life that is happy? And am I truly happy in my life? Does anybody know here what is happiness and what this feeling is for you to like get up every day and smile and want to hug people and so forth? Anybody know that feeling? I know I have that feeling. When I live in Jamaica, you know, every time I go to school and you know there's this food, we call it patty. And you know when I can eat one with this bread and has butter on it, it's called cocoa bread, and I eat it and I can bite into it. It's so hot, you know, it's like breakfast, so you know that makes me happy and I want to smile and so forth. So that's a form of happiness. But let's look at this definition. Happiness, the state of being happy. State of being happy. A little bit vague, don't you think? Okay, let's look at this next one. Happiness is to live feeling the flavor of a person. Now, feeling the flavor of a person, now that seems also kind of vague, but a lot more like interesting. The flavor of a person. Now, does a person have a flavor? Can you take a bite into a person and taste a flavor? Does a person taste like caramel or cherry or something like that?
If you're a cannibal.
Maybe. No. Everyone has their own personality or flavor at that point, and once you get to know them better, then you've obtained their heart and trust. Now, flavor, like another person, outwardly, when you see that person, you can think, oh, he's like this, or he's so anxious, or he's so like always sad, or he's so happy all the time. And that's the outward flavor. But the inward flavor is when you get to know that person thoroughly, and when you can connect to that person's heart. And when you can connect, then you can obtain their true flavor, and you can experience joy through obtaining that flavor. Okay, so yeah, when you can deal with people from the heart, then true happiness can be obtained. Okay, not to get to a point or anything, but yes. No, there's one thing which is common between many isolated people. Yeah, I know my topic is not isolation, but this is connected as well. So, a common thing is they're alone. If they're alone, then this can lead them to depression and so forth, because when you fill yourself with depression and sadness in your heart, then you can always look at a situation at that point, in that kind of area, and because of that, that's why they have to be depressed. They can't, and when there's no one there, someone there to bring them out of it, then yeah, they have to be like that. So that is why most people that are depressed, they're alone. Okay. And truly getting to know someone, understanding someone from the heart. So, because there's two people there, and there we can share the heart, and we can be friends and so forth, and we can understand each other and connect and get to know each other better. And actually, that in itself, that brings true joy, because then you can understand that person and you say, okay, that's why he was like that, or that's what, I was thinking a different way, but now that I know him better, then I can feel like a lot more happy that to be connected or to have a relationship with this kind of person. So, like that. Now, one aspect that I want to show of happiness, or a form of happiness, or you think you can make yourself happy, is world track athlete, Jamaican Usain Bolt. Now, what do we know about Usain Bolt? Usain Bolt is from Jamaica, right? After the last two Olympics, he has obtained 6 gold medals and has 3 records, 100, 200, 4x100 meter in over world championships, and he's almost basically the most undefeated track athlete in the world. Now, one thing about Usain Bolt, he can't get up every day and train himself. That's one thing. So he has to have somebody to manage him, to manage his body, to manage his mental state, and so forth. So Coach Glenn Mills has been coaching him ever since he just started into this professional game and so forth, training him and treating him like a son and so forth. So one thing about Glenn Mills is that he doesn't just train him, he trains his personality as well. He trains how to go into a championship with the mentality that, okay, if I execute like this, then this result will happen. Or if I execute like that, that result will happen. And then he can keep relationship like that. But you see, after the years going by, Usain Bolt, as you know, he's one of the most famous track athletes in the world. So because of that stature and because of that status that he has now, then more and more it's becoming very hard for him to actually listen to somebody and for him to coach somebody because he's so great. He's full of himself. And because of that, then it becomes a lot harder for Glenn Mills to actually coach him. And being a superstar, he wants to go into all these things of the world and try to make himself happy and so forth. Without even prior thinking about it, because already he has that mentality and he wants to just go that way. So he feels that, okay, if I go that way, then that will make me happy. Not thinking about it really. And in Jamaica, there's not much things to do but just really party, you know what I'm saying? So when he gets into that now, it becomes more difficult for him to balance his track life and his worldly life. So because of that, now there's a fight going on. But because he cannot obtain completely his coach's heart and try to open up and tell my coach, say, okay, this is the problem I have. No, he thinks he's the best. He thinks he's the greatest. Because of that, he trusts that and he clings on to that. And what happened? 2011, Daegu, South Korea, in World Championship, he had to false start. That was his peak. And he had to slide down like that. So at the end of the day, if he can't execute, if he can't come through, then this is gonna happen. After 2 years of training, then what does it come to? If he can't execute on the day, what does it come to? Nothing. What? Just for his form of happiness, just for not connecting to his coach and so forth. There isn't a mutual relationship there. He couldn't feel the coach's heart. So, everyone, this is one thing I learned during America, staying here in America, is that when we can connect and throw away what we feel and how we feel about someone else, and we can try to connect to that person from the heart, then really that is when we can obtain the true happiness, and we can understand that person a little bit better, even though we might completely in our heart not accept that person. We can much better understand that person, and we can find joy and happiness into doing it, So even doing this mind lecture, to be honest, I'll tell you this honestly, that I didn't want to do it. You see me talking here, you see me all these slides, but in my heart I really didn't want to do this. But when I could feel, or even Pastor Song's heart towards volunteers wanting to do this, and I could throw away my thinking and what I felt was best for me during my stay in America, and accept his words and what church had for me, then really that's when I could obtain true happiness, even doing this mind lecture. So even now, I can feel even more happiness, just talking about this. And so when I felt like this, I know it. This is my topic. This is what I'm gonna do. And even though I might not do it well, then I felt that this is a good training process for me. And on that point, I'd like to end my presentation. So I really thank you for listening to me, and I hope that one day in your life you can obtain true happiness. Everyone, thank you.